Everybody, and welcome back to the second part of session 12 of Storms over Cerenar. Before we get back into it, I want to remind all of you watching and listening out there that Storms over Cerenar is a rowdy and sometimes dark role-playing campaign for adults. Sometimes we tackle hard and uncomfortable subjects, but we try to do it in a respectful and empathetic way. Needless to say, audience discretion is advised. Where we last left off our heroes, they had gone to Sardoba, a border town between the Hajari Emirates and the Kingdom of Rathuria. There they managed to get back Saphis' sister, Rain and Summer, by making a deal with the Face, a clandestine group of assassins that they have been fighting with until now. In 10 days, they say, that is on the 29th of Aurora, they will come for Theus, who has promised himself to Face. In return, they got Rain and Summer. After having rescued his sister, Saphis decided to go back to his hometown, protect his family, and to hunt down the association of slavers and merchants that has set upon this whole situation. Meanwhile, our heroes knows that a truly staggering amount of children has been rounded up and sent to Stormflow for some sinister ritual. And now they must figure out what they will do and what the next steps is. So, welcome back from the break, everybody. You have returned to your inn after waving goodbye to Saphis and the Legionnaires and Saldin and Rain and Summer. What are you all doing?
Well, it appears that 10 days has turned into something else if these massless ones are going to go after Saphis. Perhaps we should make a plan to go somewhere next.
Well, I mean, Stormflow is on the way. Assuming our final destination is still Kangundi.
Well, yes, but Stormflow is on our way to Kangundi. I think that there's plenty of ways we can get there. We can go up on land, we can go to bodies of water. One moment. And you see as Nongor pulls out this grayish kind of roll of paper. Once again, it's got a little charm on it, wrapped around with a little heart locket that has a Nibble's face in, and he rolls it open and displays it in front of the party. I think this might help us decide on where we need to go to next. You see, I have specific cards placed on top of this map, and you can see this is where our location is, as he points towards the shining sword, the Verdant Shard. We obviously have the Face in Rathajar. We have the Conventicle to worry about. There's dark rituals happening in Starchflow, and of course we have the Verdant Shard over in the jungles.
And
this little girl, I decided to include herself as well. If you'd like to, you could just flip over any one of these cards. It'll give you all the information you need right from it. So in party script, that's just, if you guys just double click on any of these locations, you'll see a detail of it. Full details of everything we have to do is inside the leather-bound journal that's on the desk. And you guys can move your specific cards around the board if you'd like as well.
Oh, that's really, really cool. I'm sorry, it's totally off game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who did this? This is amazing.
Tanner and I did this. This is your quest log. So I'll just show you here. See if I can... I can't show you these sheets. All right, Tanner,
this is really the bomb.
Can I get you to open the Dark Rituals one on the capturing unit? And all of you, if you double-click the Dark Rituals token in Starchflow.
Yep, I'm on it.
So Nongle has meticulously, magically made up these notes. So as you flip over a card, a couple of lines of text appear in script in front of you. What color is it, Noggle?
It's gray, but as soon as any one particular person flips it over, for Ost, it turns green. For Bjorn, it turns like a light blue. For yeah,
I only have Noggle left without Theus. Yeah.
where's I'm just trying to find Theus's color on the actual player log in Foundry.
I think it's yellow.
Yellow?
Let's see. Gray. Gray, it says.
Gray? Okay, yeah. So it turns out your whatever color your guys is. So as you're looking at it, and then Nongo says, "Of course, if you want to look at all of our objectives, these objectives that I've thought natural for this place, if you just look inside the journal itself, and Nongo will open up the journal for the stream." You can see that there are, if you open up the journal itself, you can actually find links to specific places that we need to go. I figured this was an easier way for us to decide where we're supposed to go, possibly even taking your cards, which you all have access to move around. We can decide who wants to go where and vote or discuss, or at any means we can add more cards to this as well. Now, I show you, similar to, as you've seen my book, maybe reading over my shoulder, it is full of nonsense, per se, but this map will appear as nonsense to anyone other than us reading it. So our notes are kept secret, confined.
Bloody useful.
Going through the quest here, if you open up the Dark Rituals one, Tanner, just as an example, what I have is I have described under the first kind of header, just a general summary. Then I've placed down leads for you guys. So that is specific points of interest that your characters would have picked up along the way that are actionable. You could use these to guide you if you are lost, right? And then modus operandi is something like under the face, for instance, it's notes about how they fight you and what kind of resources you've seen them have, right? So that is basically how these work. But what you know about Dark Rituals is that you don't know a lot of them, but you have during your liberation of the slaves and interrogation of the people defending them, you found out that there was some kind of ritual within Storageflow that was going on, where they needed a lot of children and girls to do this ritual. You don't know when and where, other than it's happening in Storageflow. You don't know why, and you don't know how. But there's a lot of but already that, putting some questions on it will hopefully help you figure out, all right, we need to find out where, how, when.
Now, of course, all this information is from my point of view. If you would like to add anything, let me know, and we'll create different points. But I prefer that we keep our points down to a minimum, if possible.
Of course.
I have to say, off game again. This is so nice. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, this is something that I don't think can be done on any virtual tabletop other than Foundry. So this is pretty impressive, actually. You guys can take your cards, move them around, tilt them. If you double-click on anyone's card, you can see information they want to put there. So if you double-click on Nongo's card, you can see links to all of his little familiars and Nongo's description itself. Yeah.
You can also edit the cards in your own cards yourselves if you want any kind of notes. So.
Yeah, no one else can move your cards but yourselves. And Nongo's made sure that that's actually the case. As Nongo will move Safisa's card down to the bottom of the map.
Well, it seems like it's up to us to make the decision. And it's lucky that we are the three smartest in the group.
Very true, Bjorn. We are the creme de la creme of intellect.
So, looking at this card and being so good at reading out, Nungle, I think that the Dark Ritual one really intrigues me. It seems like a lot of the overarching threads of almost every mystery we have encountered so far is hidden somewhere in there.
Yes, well, good. I'm glad you noticed, Tom. This will lead us to an actual port where we can sail off towards where the written shard is. I just feel that we've uncovered something of these dark rituals, and we better resume our course. Though Cephis may not be with us at this moment, there are still things that I think bothered each and every one of us in our own way. So these rituals, perhaps we can stop by and get them to stop as quickly as possible, and then move on towards Ost. I do need more time before we beat the wilds of the Kungundi. I want to make sure that I don't have to use my concentration to hide this weapon from our enemies.
I would agree. But I think it is in our best interests to deal with these rituals. If the Faiths are indeed involved, the last thing we want is them having more power than they already do.
And also sworn out to attack us as well, so perhaps we could disrupt the ritual without them actually laying a finger on us.
Yes, a bit of a head start.
But they're doing good in the world, we might as well continue.
Well, yes. Gets our name out. No, we don't want that, actually. But yes,
house, this is illusion-based. I thought you might be happy about that.
I'll be astounded. Yes. Well, I mean...
I was actually thinking if we go by the ship and go by sea, maybe we should hire a sailor or someone who can help us steer the boat so we have, the night to traverse the waters as well as the day.
Well, I mean, technically I don't need to sleep. Although I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, you don't need to sleep.
No. I mean, I can trance myself to a certain extent. Zone out.
Silly nonsense not needing to sleep, but you still need to rest, of course.
Oh.
If we could hire someone to pilot the ship as we are traveling through, perhaps there are some rituals that I may be able to make to have that happen, but if not, Bjorn, I'm in agreement. Perhaps we can hire someone to levy this ship a little bit for us.
Fine by me, but we need to vet this person thoroughly beforehand.
I'm sure there'll be many young adventurers willing to travel with us if we just tell them of fame and fortune and riches and traveling with a party such as ourselves.
And as you say that, Dongle, you hear the low kind of tune of a violin. Looking out the window, you see a small nomad caravan kind of settling in through the eastern gate of the city.
Do I recognize the tune?
Yeah, it's a real banger in nomad culture. This one is called Forest Gnome Took My Cow.
Okay. So this is Forest Gnome Took My Cow in a nomad culture. Okay. Oh no! I recognize those sounds. There's nomads in the street. Perhaps we just stay inside. Yes.
But if that means there are travelers coming in, don't they usually have like camp followers? Nomads being such a lively bunch, people usually follow them around, right?
Life of the party, I heard.
You see, every nomad knows every other nomad, and I'm quite unlike the other nomads. Running after Conventicle is unlike most things that nomads are used to doing, and, well, you see they are so excitable when they're being seen.
I thought it was the illusion thing again.
It could have been that. He can do those, you know.
You want to take a look out, or are you just hiding, basically, Nongle?
Nongle looks around for Cephis as he's the lookout. Well, I suppose I should take a glance. I'll pop my head out.
All right, give me a perception roll.
Uh, 16.
You look down out the window. It's not a big kind of nomad. So all of you know about the nomad, the rock gnomes of Cerenar, who traditionally never really stops. They live everywhere and they travel from town to town, selling their crafts and their services. Help bringing the harvest, help to bring in the harvest, kind of build up buildings and all kind of manner of things that the enterprising nomads are very good at. This is not a big caravan, but still in a town like this, having these people, if they had the money and the need, they could help repair a burnt down building, stuff like that in a couple of days, right? Some places they are not kind of welcome, as people have some see them as thieves or cultural rejects, or just to be noisy and irritating. On other places, they are very welcome and a part of the economic kind of ecosystem and the culture. So there's definitely some people who like nomads more than others. No, Uncle, you recognize one of these wagons as the overly mechanical and over-engineered wagon of Snick-Snack Clearbart, your uncle on your mother's side.
Clearbart, okay.
Snick-Snack is pretty sneaky, but he's also pretty crafty. He's the one, actually, back in the day when you were a kid, who showed you your first magic trick.
Well, it's you see, as nomads travel the land, we're all related in some way. That there is my uncle Clearbart, but the 2 A's in Clearbart. He taught me some cantrips. So it's not unknown from gnomes to teach me cantrips, but he did spark my interest. There's family there.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
I do apologize in advance if I do meet any of family or fellow nomads that I might become quite different.
Oh, don't be silly. It'll be fine. Good old knees up with the family reunion. Not so like.
Al's enjoying this tremendously, isn't he?
Absolutely. If it was his family, then he'd be dead against it. But, this is lovely.
Well, I guess that it couldn't hurt leaving Theus if we're just outside on the street.
Bring him with you. We still have the basket ready. I'll set up my
Oh,
clock.
yeah, sure.
Stay back, not too far, as I approach and speak. We're looking for someone to pilot our ship, are we not?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how long we can employ them for, but it's possible that the Clearbarts might be able to help us.
Or at least know somebody who may. But,
Again, I please assure you, as you know me now, you may see a different nomad entirely.
Sure, it'll be fine.
Regrettingly, Nongol straightens himself out, conjures a mirror in front of him, and takes a look and is like, tries to use prestidigitation to unfrost his tips and kind of split his hair.
No, keep the tips. Keep the tips.
And he'll go down to the Clairbuds.
All right. As you let me just.
Bjorn is settling Theus up.
All right. I'm just trying to see if I can find some music that that helps. I don't think I have some right now. I should have prepared for that. All right. You go down. Are the rest of you following, or are you leaving him?
Absolutely.
We're taking Theus and coming along.
Are you buckling up Theus in the baby carriage things, the baby Bjorn?
He's saddled in.
Oh,
maybe we can find a wheelchair or something. Push him around. The gnomes! They'll have made one, surely. This is a brilliant idea. Well done, me.
Well done, me. Well. All right. I think I have something I could use here. All right. So. As you go down, the nomads have already set up kind of on the village green or the town green in Windmount. A lot of people are kind of coming out to look at the wares that they have already set up. Small kind of clockwork toys for the children and tools for other people. You see, Sardoba, it seems like nomads are pretty well welcomed and appreciated in this place. You see, there are 3 wagons in total. 2 of them have set up like they have kind of what is it called? Those kind of sheets that you pull out from a camper, right?
Awning.
Yeah, lean-to.
Yeah.
Awning. Yeah.
They're awning, tarpaulins, whatever, like out, and they have some few tables and. Another place, they have just set up a barrel, and one of the nomads are kind of sitting there with a violin, another with a flute, and they're playing some music, and they're drinking some things as the children come out to play, and the adults are like those of them who enjoys this ruckus at 8:30 in the morning come out and begin to join up. How are you approaching this, Snorkel?
I'll tell the party to wait back as I step forward, and as I kind of step away from the party just a few feet, I'll cast prestidigitation, make sure my clothing are like unwrinkled, and I'm 100% presentable, which is odd because you see as the other fellow nomads, they're not worried about their looks or whatnot, but for some reason Nongle is.
Yeah, they were all wearing like torn clothing, and some of them are barefooted. Obvious like teeth missing and wily hair everywhere. As you like kind of awkwardly staggers out on the market square, one of the nomads kind of like looks at you and says, "Well, if I have, isn't that second cousin Nongle? Is that you?" And you see, this is your This is. Let me just find my notes here. What is his name? This is your second cousin, Slupkek. Oh yeah, it's Nongle, and like they stop the music and they come out and like, is it right that you've become a Magister Superior, Nongle? Oh, my mama says hi. She asked you if you like the Christmas present.
Hello.
Noggle, here, and like one of them gives you like a clockwork toad. I made this myself, and I want you at some point if you could just help me with my algebra. Maybe you're such a smart one. I don't want my papa just bashing me over the head again.
Yes, I don't quite have time to. Thank you. The toad is. You could actually fix it. No, never mind.
A small gnomish girl kind of tucks your robe.
Oh God!
Uncle Nongle, why are you wearing a dress?
It's called a robe. It's a wizard's robe. It's not an actual dress. It's.
What's a wizard's robe?
It's a place where we can components. They have pockets in them, and you see some simple magic. Like
you see your aunt, fourth removed, comes out looking at she's carrying nibbles. Like, Nongle, my boy, good to see you. Is this your chicken, or can I just cook it right away?
It's a place. No, I don't know. How did you get hold of it? Nongle starts to snap his fingers. You can see his concentration is just completely thrown off, and he can't like do a simple cantrip to bring back nibbles. He's right now beat red in the face and like sweating as he stares around to all these nomads crowding him.
I'll let you this is your aunt. She's one of the older kind of. This is Pavila. Pavila is. You're pretty sure she's like the quote unquote leader, or as big a leader as you can be in this situation, or as a nomad. she said, "Now, children, settle down. Nongo hasn't seen his family for quite some time. Wasn't that 4 years ago at that wedding in Haven?"
Oh, yes, I stopped in using simple. It was an illusion down to that.
They still talk about that show of your mom. She's so proud. How is she?
She's fine. Last I haven't spoken to her since the wedding, but she's.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you hear about your father? He had an ulcer, but they got it. They got it fixed up, I think.
Quite simple to actually take care of it. Also, you just need to proper herbs
Are
to.
you all right, Nongle?
I'm sorry. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. There's so much attention being, and you can see the party can see as Nongle's like pulling his collar away, just very, very, very stressed out right now.
As this is happening, some of the nomads, like especially the young ones, approach you, Bjorn and Aust. One of them looks at you and she says, "Is that a fake bear? Why is everything cold around you?"
That's magic, my little friend. And I take my hands around the child and lift it up towards the bear's head.
Oh, that's a big one. Do you know what magic is? He says, and then he makes it look like he pulls like a silver coin out of your nose. This is magic.
Now, that's an illusion, Uncle. That's an illusion.
You see Bjorn holding this small gnomish child.
Yeah, in like one hand, like a normal child is like the size of a teddy bear, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Noggle's like staring around, like, wide-eyed. Barely notices.
The child looks at you, Bjorn, with no fuckery. He's all business now. As he looks at you and says, "Now, how far up can you toss me?"
Let's
I don't
find
want to
out.
get hurt. My mama, she'll beat me some fist, but how high can you toss me safely?
Oh, safely?
Get on with it then. Come on.
I don't know. How hard can I toss her safely?
Oh,
The gnome kids were like, tossing, yay, toss her, yay. They're like,
only one way to find out.
I throw her up. It's a gnomish girl, right?
yeah, she's like maybe 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. I throw her about like roof high of the inn. It's like just to have something to aim for, and I try catch her again.
Yeah, no problem. Like you can do this. It's not that difficult. But in that moment, you stop being a person and become the throwing machine, and all of the nomad children kind of swamp you when they want to go.
I accept my fate.
Now, what about your friend, the lanky, lonely one over there with the dust on his shoulders? Does he want a nice cup of coffee? We can go into old Snick Snacks wagon and get a cup, I'm sure.
But perhaps if there's some of our more potent wine, I think he has a taste for the alcoholic beverages.
Oh, I think Snicker Snack has one of his moonshines ready, so we can definitely get something a bit stronger if that's that for you. Now, sir, what's your name? And she looks at you. She's wearing she's wearing like a pretty nice dress, no shoes, and then a kind of a leather apron with lots of like flour and foodstuffs on it. What's your name?
Oh, madam, you can call me Oust. Look at you. You must be, you must be Mr. Nongle's sister.
Oh, so kind. What a charmer. And she raises up her hand to you like this.
Oh, I take a kiss on the back of the hand there. I mean, Nongle, you never mentioned to us that you had such a fine extended family.
Oh,
Nor will I ever again!
I'm just an old gnome, but thank you, you silly one. Now, come inside. We'll say hi to Snick Snack. He's probably been missing you or something, fierce Nongle. And she looks at you, at Bjorn, and we'll probably have some peace from the kids for the next hour and a half.
Oh, he can do that for hours.
Oh, he can? Does he go by the hour? Or
Oz, careful with your wording. They'll take it literal.
why is he carrying that man on his back? That's weird, though.
It's certain things. It's a certain business that I've gotten myself involved in, and I'm proud of doing.
His rates are
you
very
should
reasonable.
Be proud of yourself, Nonkel. There's so few of our kind who've made it so far in the conventicule as you have. Famous everywhere, from Bastion City up to the north, wherever we travel, anyone knows about you.
Very well.
I know a few bit of the cousins who are very, very jealous of you, and a lot of young gnomish ladies who could use a match of your caliber. So
that is not a subject I'm willing to talk about. That is not. I'm not going there.
For so long, you're such a nice guy. You have why are you so dead against this?
The Huglims who have these and the Din Bims are trying to get me set up with someone else. I have no time for marriage or women or the whatnot.
Is it because you like taller women? Like him? No, you're not a woman, huh?
No, I don't like big women at all. Not one bit. No, I'm not into bigger women, especially ones with tusks.
You should have seen him in Rafajar, quite the rabble-rouser.
Oh, no, yes. Please, this is some time for charming
I'm so happy to hear that he's finally coming out of his shell. Now, come
here.
Two of you, come on, hide your heads, she says, as like she opens the door. Snake
Lead the way, fair lady.
You won't believe who I found. As you're led into Snicksnack's little wagon. Bjorn, are you just staying outside, or are you like shaking off the kids and going with the others?
No, I'm accepting my fate. Like Bjorn, he got outsmarted, and so
there's probably like at least 10 of them hanging on you with about 20 around you.
Fucking love this shit. Like the kids, they love this.
Maybe he moves a bit closer to the wagon so.
All right, like you can kind of look in the. You can kind of look in the window. All right, let me just. As you come in, this kind of this kind of wagon is weird because it's over-engineered. It has like kind of metal beams and a mechanical clockwork horse that drags it, right? As you come inside, it is definitely larger on the inside than on the outside. So you have to like duck to get in the door out, but then when you come in, quite a spacious and nice domain.
Love what you've done with the place.
Thank you. As you look over a very small gnome, he is probably the smallest adult gnome that you've seen. Not bigger than what, 2.5 feet maybe. Kind of a big pointy onion-formed white hair, and like a kind of a leather attire. He has big goggles on his head and like a range of tool belts and things around him. Just clockwork, everything, and oil and grease stains everywhere. But otherwise, pretty. It seems pretty composed. As he says, "Well, it ain't my little nephew there. Hello, son. Come here. Give your uncle a hug."
Yes, I suppose. Hello, cousin Snickersnack. And I will approach and reluctantly do the whole little like distance kind of like pat, pat, pat.
Very well. So, and he takes out a kind of a machine and begins to kind of tinker with it as he says, "Can you please tell the wagon how you like your coffee?"
Actually, something stronger. My friend Ost here, who's, I would say, the, of my latest adventures, not that you would understand any of them, but of my latest adventures, he seems to be quite the leader of the expedition, if I do say so myself.
Oh, come now. Nongle here is,
Oh, no, you should ask him about everything. No, he's quite the leader. We definitely all follow him and his lead, but he would like some liquor, something hard and strong, and if you could give me some of that as well, that would be fantastic.
Oh, yes. Very well. Oh, where's my man? I'm Snicksnack Clarbert, and he like kind of raises his tiny hand to you.
A absolute pleasure. Call me Oust.
Oust, nice to meet you. And wagon, get us 3 glasses of moonshine. and you hear like the wagon has like a chandelier, a big chandelier with crystals instead of lights, and like as the wagon responds, like the crystals kind of emanate light. There's, yes, master. 3 glasses of moonshine coming right up, and then like a bunch of mechanic arms kind of start doing things around in the wagon, and you hear like the plates shattering in the kitchen, and it brings out 3 glasses of moonshine, and then a big old jug with 3 X's on it, like with these thin mechanical arms, is being brought out, and like into this small tubed glass is like 1 glass. All right, that was pretty decently poured. The second glass pretty decently, and then the third glass just completely misses. And Sticks like, oh, I can't now, and then takes away the jug of moonshine and just like pours the glass himself and hands it to you. Well, cheers for happy meetings.
It seems like one of my mechanical arms is broken. Perhaps I should take a look.
And he looks at you dead in the eye, and you think you're better at tinkering than I am?
No, I just you have so many questions to ask, Ost. I'm sure if I could just keep myself busy and away from all of you.
Nongle, we must partake in this drink. I mean, come on.
I really want to. I just take a look at the arm, please.
Just looking at it, I can tell it's exactly how I like my women. Unbelievably strong and able to knock my socks off. So let's just tuck in, shall we?
Are you talking about the wagon or the moonshine? I'm pretty sure that you'll enjoy it then. Cheers.
Excellent. Nongle here is quite the constitution himself for the old harder drinks nowadays.
Oh, this is where you meet his family, and therefore you begin to bully him without really bullying him. Is that it?
Absolutely. Yes.
I see it. Let's just dispense with that kind of shit. You can see he's scared shitless. It's fine.
I'm not scared. I have no fear. Not a single fear from my tops of my arms. I'm terrified.
That's fine, son. Well, here's a remedy for that, and he gives you the kind of like the glass of moonshine, and then he says, and because you always need your big noggin to be preoccupied with something, then here, I want you to take a look at this because I need this for a project. And he hands you like a scroll.
Oh, something you need from me, of course. Nongle will take a big chug of the
and he looks at you and he says, I always pay my debts, Nongle. You're not the only one who's resourceful in our culture.
Well, the most resourceful so far to history, but of course, yes, it's a simple scroll. I'm sure I could take a look.
Sure. Now that let's drink, and I should take a sip of this. It's. Have you ever tried like moonshine or anything like that before?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have. You know precisely how horrifying it is. It's very strong and it doesn't taste well, but it
evaporates into your mouth. It's to get you absolutely shit-faced, not to actually drink something.
Alice not knowing that would knock it back.
Oh no! Okay, careful, Ross!
It's absolutely fine.
Like Snicksnack thinks it's hilarious, and so does Pavilla, just laughing at you.
Well, that's
now I add you a bunch of silly buggers. I'll go get you a pie, shouldn't I? And then she just buggers off.
Well, goodness me. Well,
so what kind of shenanigans are you up to here? He takes a look at you. You usually travel alone. Is that not true, Dongle?
Well, the conventicle business actually keeps me quite busy alone, but this time, I guess you could say I'm on a special mission, and I've met these men here that are following us now, and yes, I guess this time I'm not alone.
Well, isn't that interesting? So
Do
why?
you really think so, or are you teasing me again?
Oh, I'm not teasing you. I'm just.
Look, cousin, just because I don't have 1,000 nomads around me doesn't mean I'm always alone.
Now, I'm just, let me just be honest. I know how you feel. All this ruckus, all them youngins running around and putting my big screws in the pot for the small screws and the bolts in the pot for the nails. it gets tedious. I understand. Sometimes I could just use some peace and quiet, but
Well, if you did things properly in the first place, you see, this screw was turned too much to the right, and this one too much to the left. Your entire arm is backwards and destroyed here. How am I a study of magics and know so much tinkering more than you do? You're supposed to be the master.
Well, maybe I'm not focusing on my side projects right now.
Apparently not.
No. Apparently not. And he looks at you. And then he looks up at you. So what are you up to? What brings you to this little shithole?
We're headed to Staunch Flow, I believe. Ost, is that correct, or
Yes. Sorry, yes. No,
Yeah.
yes, we are, doing as adventurous as you call us do. We have our own threads to follow that, do take us through Staunch Flow, and we have some interest there of some, not quite so savoury things, which, somebody's got to stop them, haven't they? Your nephew? Cousin?
Yes, he's my name.
Nephew. Here.
Once removed, but yes.
Yeah, he's it's at least part of his business there. So we're passing through. We've been on quite the journey so far. He's not steered us wrong yet.
Very well. He knows, like, he definitely sees that you're trying not to tell him the whole story, right? And he just nods. All right, fine. Well, if there's anything I can do to help you, I'll do my part. But I need to. If you don't mind, I need to talk to my nephew here. Just the two of us.
Of course, I'll make myself scarce.
Nothing personal, of course. Just private family.
No offense taken.
Ost, I'm sure everything will be fine. I'll be in here if you need me.
That's fine. I'm going to peruse some of these fine stalls.
Yes, good. Just please ensure that you and Bjorn hold on to all of your possessions during this time. Not saying that they're thieves, but sometimes they'll find things and try to adjust them and then give them back to you. And adjustments may not work quite as well for our folk as they would for yours.
Well,
our youngins know that they're on their best behavior.
Oh, I'm sure already that Bjorn has fallen to a few tricks of knickknacks, if I remember the term correctly.
He might as well. Well.
Anyway, I'll leave you two to it.
Oh, no, thank you. And do you want a glass on your way out?
Do I? Yes, I do.
He, wagon, yes, master. And the caravan kind of pours you another drink. Only half of it goes on the side of the glass and just burns on your hands. As, so pure alcohol does.
Yeah, it almost evaporates as it touches your skin. It's
precisely.
Right, well, nothing's growing there. Good. I'll bid you adieu.
Please mind your head. And then, the wagon opens the door for you. It says, goodbye. Thank you for visiting Wagon Master 9000.
9,000. There we go. Thank you.
I just like the high number, he says, looking at you, Nongle.
Yes, this is probably the 3rd edition, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
I prefer,
ninth.
I prefer the 5th edition, actually, but...
Well, this is, as you know, the 9th edition. I'm the only one who makes these babies. And as he bangs on the table, a bolt falls off in the other end of the wagon, and he's just never mind.
Yes, I can see that you make these yourself.
Well,
Zigzag, tell me, what's new with the nomads?
I'm sorry to tell you this, Nongle, but people are not looking kindly to us no more up north. We can't.
How far north?
Even as far as Ravenport. Some of them are human cities in Rethuria. The Hajari Emirates. It's It's like
For what reason? We repair all of their buildings. We create things for them. Like, why would they have anything against the nomads? I don't
you
understand.
know how it is. Sometimes when people see strangers, all they see is someone to reflect all of their own unhappinesses and misfortunes in. This is the story of our people, Uncle. Then
so be it. Let their buildings rot and be destroyed, and see who else can fix them as best as we can. I mean, yes, sometimes we tinker too much and things lean a little bit more than they should, but still.
I should say that like a cuckoo clock kind of cuckoo, and like the bird just fires off like a cannon and smashes into the wall on the other side.
Truly, you should definitely. If you just give me a little bit of time, maybe I could fix these things.
No, but I don't want you to fix this. I want you to help me provide our people somewhere to go when we need it.
Somewhere to go?
And he like kind of looks at his glance kind of looks at the piece of paper he gave you, the scroll.
What of the Leviathan Isles? As Noggle opens up the scrolls. Isn't there plenty of respite there for the actual the nomads to go in? And Noggle will look at the page.
Well, a respite is only a respite when people know about it, or when people don't know about it. And then, as you open the scroll, you see a scroll of a very, very maledictive spell. It's not allowed. It is very bad. It is a scroll of Dimension Door. Not Dimension Door. What is it called? Demi-plane.
Ooh. It's. Where did you find this?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? At one point, I was minding my own business. We were camping out in some woods somewhere, and I went through some kind of bushes, some trees, and I found myself in this lovely kind of vale, almost. This clearing in the forest, the small pond. And on a rock, there was just a page, like it was ripped out of a book or something.
Noggle will, from his encounter with the manifest, he'll describe the same scene that he found the manifest in.
Yeah, with the small pond, with the fireflies. Yeah. That sounds precisely like it. You've been there?
You were somewhere else. The colors were different. The trees grew, almost seemed to be differently. The water flowed in a strange way. Yes, of course, I've been there. Look. And Noggle will pull off his book. I found this there. Not a single page, but an entire book.
Wow.
Noggle will immediately, like, in a obsessive compulsive kind of way, like, grab the page and see if it matches the actual page quality of what's in the actual manifest.
Of course it does.
It's afraid to flip through the pages farther than it was already gone. This must fit in here somewhere.
Now, what is that kind? You found that in the same place as I did?
I don't know how you fell into the same place that I did. You see, my business with the pillar, with the conventicle, has been it's been exploring certain strange places off-world per se, this is very strange. How you would become to actually be in the same place as well, unless you were outwardly seeking it.
No,
Stickstaff. Is there anything you're hiding from me?
I just wanted a place to piss, honestly. But I was looking for a solution to what I think is our people's biggest problem. So if that is actively looking for it, I guess this is just, I don't know, fate, destiny, chance. You know, I'm not stupid enough to think of any of that. I'm not an idiot.
Noggle seems almost a little bit pissed off that he spent so much time in the conventicle trying to figure out how to do this kind of things, and he could have just stayed with the fucking caravan and figured it out anyways. But the frustration kind of like besets him. He kind of pushes it down. He'll uncork that later as he bottles it up.
I don't know what this is and what kind of deal it is, honestly. I'm pretty sure
But
this is pretty dangerous stuff, but
Well, this piece of paper is actually the actual writings to a magic that would actually create a realm outside of this actual realm itself. You see, Cerenar has not had these types of magics for quite some time. And that is what was one of my specialties in the conventicle, is actually finding breaches between Cerenar to other places. And this spell directly is against exactly what Cerenar is about. The Chthonian, the Imperium, this is what they've been fighting for so long to hide.
that is very interesting.
Yes, therefore it's very dangerous for you to have this on you, isn't it?
No, I always had the feeling that this could bring me back to that place, to some kind of safe.
I hope you don't pursue it any further, because if you do, it's possible. Look, Snickstack. Please keep this between you and I, and please do. It seems that the pillar and I have split ways.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure why, but they seem to be tracking me down to try to, well, kill me, and my companions' lives. They travel with a strange masked men. I'm not sure exactly who or what they represent.
Oh, well. That is worrying indeed.
Yes.
Noggle, do you think I found this place because of you?
I don't see how. I've been so distant from the family for so long.
No, but you found this book when?
Well, years ago.
Well, I found this last. I'm pretty sure this is a possibility for our people. And it seems like you're not the only one in these times that need somewhere to hide sometime.
You
Now,
wish to
I
take the family to this other place.
want somewhere safe for us.
You understand that these portals that I have been bequested to seek out are usually portals that we seek to destroy, and there are creatures in there that are violent and terrible.
Will it be there in this one? From what I can tell, and I'm not so literate in Arcana as you are, of course. But from this here, and he like kind of like wagon, the secret collection, and like a bunch of old tomes just falls down on the table in front of you.
You know, if you just change the hydraulics there just a little bit, they wouldn't fall so quickly. They could just be placed down.
Oh, so maybe just adjust the pressure with what, 0.5 bar or something?
0.65 actually I think would be quite tolerable for this one. This one over here, I mean 0.4. I can't see how you come up with 0.5. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, we'll talk about this later. And you just start to kind of fuck around with the wagon for a bit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, outside, what are you guys doing as you just see the wagon kind of rummaging around a little bit?
So, did you hire a sailor? Can you hear me out? Because I know I'm throwing children. And
Yes, it was almost like for a moment I was muted. We are. That remains to be seen. Jesus Christ, that's high. Yes, I'm letting the grown-ups speak inside the wagon, which is an awfully nice wagon. I wonder if we can employ them to, I don't know, maybe renovate the levitator a little bit, make it a little bit more homely. But who knows? But we'll see. There's still work to be done around here. We can definitely have a look, see who we can.
Now, children, let the grown-ups have somewhere to sit. And like the children kind of goes away, and they bring you some stumps to sit on. And Noggle's aunt kind of gives you some pie, both of you.
All right. Has anything of yours changed? Have they tinkered with anything on Bjorn?
No, but there's a lot of graffiti on Fierce's face.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
absolutely fine.
There's also graffiti on Bjorn's ankles, right? Just crude gnomish words and pictures of penises and vaginas and all kinds of just stupid kind of teenagers drawing on stuff, right?
You never imagined, Uncle, how many coins I had up my nose. Must have been millions.
It's a simple. Never mind.
Well, there we go.
It's a lovely pie. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm pretty sure that Nongle and Sneak Snack will be done in a minute.
Excellent stuff.
And after that, you kind of adjusted the pressure of the hydraulics. Yeah, it does run way better now. That's a good catch there. And he looks at you, and he says, "Now, so if I understand this spell correct, and mind you, these books have not been cheap. This here spell would create a kind of place without any places. It's not connected to anything else. It's not a corner of hell. It's not a corner of anything else. It's not filled with any kind of ghosts or anything.
It's created by the magic itself. You see, the actual magics of the world actually create this place that someone could technically stay in if needs be.
But don't you think that if this here page comes from this here book, what does that mean? What do you think?
This book is also capable of other things, my friend.
Give me an Arcana check.
28.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I asked. You looking at that. If this specific spell, this specific kind of demiplane spell, is kind of in the it is from the book, it might very well not just be a demiplane spell, but an actual way of getting back to wherever it was you were when you find the book.
I know this is a magic that's beyond my comprehension at the moment. Is this something that I could use the scroll for, or is this something that I would need to actually memorize myself?
With the right kind of arcane machinery, you might be able to cast it.
And what kind of machinery would that be? Would I know, or would it be something I need to find?
You know that the nomad people have some kind of ways of fueling things that, no one asks questions about it, but it's probably, not that allowed, right? Animating kind of horses and stuff like that. You would say that with the help of Snick Snack, you could probably build basically with this spell here and these and the knowledge in the spell. If you and Snick Snack work together for a while, you could build a portal that would be an effective doorway into the demiplane, into wherever that was, where you found the manifest. It probably would take some time. And Snick Snack, you will probably need his help to build it, but you could do it.
All right. So after looking at the spell and considering it for a while, I'll look to Snick Snack. Well, the magic itself is beyond me, but the components required for it could be altered to actually make the spell more accessible to myself. You see, I could open up a portal to find exactly where the page was actually found, and possibly where my book was found. I don't know the benefit of actually opening up to this other place, but I have been to different portals in different places, and this one was the most peaceful that I found. All others were dark and dreary, and well, I sent people in after me to actually find and destroy them. This one I kept to myself. I kept secret.
So
The Six Stack, if I think some of our tinkering, maybe with your knowledge and widespread ability to tinker and me correcting you in your horrible mathematical components, I think that maybe we could create something to find this place again, where you and I both traversed. And with the group that I have together with me, I mean, perhaps we could explore this place.
Well, so you're proposing that I'm going with you then? We'll have a look at this on the way. We can bring Gao up with us.
Well,
He can pilot the wagon. That's it. It's settled then.
It's fine. But have you increased the speed of this yet? We're on quite a rush, and I've actually created with magics. You should be proud of me. I created an actual floating ship that can actually sail across water on the winds. I created it with simple magic.
You created a ship?
I created a ship with magics, yes. Perhaps I can increase the actual capacity of the caravan as well.
Oh, I would love that. Maybe can we just put the caravan on the boat? No, maybe build it into the boat.
The boat is quite small and it's not extra dimensional, such as your contraptions are themselves. Which, by the way, I can't figure out how you do this bigger on the inside than on the outside without using wizard magic. It's frustrating.
Do you think I figured out these details about this here scroll without learning a bit on the side? He says, and kind of winks at you.
You can't fool me. Maybe you can. God damn it. Fine.
All right, then. So, you're going. So I guess we'll just figure out a way to get this on the sea, and then we're off to where exactly? You can brief me on the way.
You want me to bring the caravan onto the sea?
Yeah, well, if you have a boat and I have a caravan, then we have a bunch of nails and some rope and whatever. We can build it.
We could build it.
Do you want to build it?
Don't you threaten me with a good time. Let's build it.
Like wagon, and then the wagon kind of gives him a spare pair of welding goggles as he hands them to Nongle. All right, then.
I haven't worn anything like this in quite some time. Well, then.
You might even start to talk with your old accent again, and then he opens the door and he shouts out, "Go up! Come on! You come with us! Ma! Yeah, what is it? Me and Go up, we're going with Nongle. All right, stay safe. Don't get drunk." Yep. And then, you guys, Go up comes over. He's a very big gnome, where Snick Snack is very small. Go up is a big husky gnome of 5 feet. It is. "What's up, Uncle Snick Snack? Are we going with Nongle?" "Hey, Cousin Nongle."
Hello, Gwonga. How are you?
"I'm fine, thank you. Are we going sailing or something? I heard about the ship inside. You were pretty excited about that."
I'm quite excited. Go on, let's go.
All right, then. And then he begins to get the wagon ready with Snick Snack.
I'll stick my head outside the tent. Austin Bjorn, I've afraid I've done us one better than captains, or pilots of a ship. The gnomes and myself will put together something that will transport us, well, quite quickly. And we have some of my family coming with us. Thank God, not all of them.
More the merrier. Bring the moonshine as well.
Yes, this chariot will go with us as well. You'll have all the moonshine that you can fathom. Well, as long as we have the ingredients.
You can work that out. Bjorn, just you
I
wait.
want you to meet my friend Gawa. Come meet him. You two are the same caliber.
Ask for the moonshine, Bjorn.
"Hello,
Oh,
Mr.
yes, yeah.
Bjorn. I'm Gawup. Hello." And he he's a big, goofy-looking gnome, right? He's wearing overalls, but one of the overall sides are kind of broken and just hangs down. hello there, and he like shakes your hand. I'm Garwop. I'm what they usually call around here the strong one.
Oh yeah, me too. And you probably know where the moonshine is, right?
Right.
Because
You want me to
I was
show
told
you?
there was.
You want me to show
Oh,
you
yeah,
the liquor cabinet? All right, this way here. And he brings you in, and you get a big old bottle of very, very, very hard liquor.
Noggle sings
Well, thank you.
Oz, just make sure that Gower doesn't go near any liquor whatsoever.
Oh, I won't. Don't worry.
Go up, he's
Just gulp. I'm sure you can have a little bit. I wouldn't worry too much. But I mean, are we ready, Mr. Nongle? Everything present and correct? If we're taking this magnificent piece of engineering with us.
Well, if there's anything you do to help,
as you say that, Aus, the wagon kind of says, "Thank you, handsome," and then like slaps your butt.
Oh,
With
same
an
to
arm.
you. Same to you, sexy. Oh, this is going to be a very good trip. Excellent. Whew.
I assure you, having a wagon mount you is not something you would want.
Well, good point. Anyway, right. Anything we need to do? Anything we need to sort out here in Sardoba? I don't believe there is.
Wow, is that all of your eels? Can I have some?
Oh, you can fill your boots. I mean, somebody else did the other day.
Oh, I wish I owned boots, sir.
You haven't got boots? Oh,
No.
fine. We have one thing to do before we leave this fine town, and that's get this young man some boots. Other than that, we're ready to
Wow.
go.
I'm going to be the richest nomad in all of Sardoba.
Oh, you'll be a king amongst nomads. There we go.
Austin and Bjorn, if you come here just for one moment.
Yes.
I know Garwop is quite strong among the actual gnomes, but still quite weak. He's not quite to Bjorn's level, per se. I know that we found these, as he holds his gauntlets up and shows them to you. We found these, and I just think that they're wasted on me, and none of us are going to use them. If maybe we can give them to him. He is quite the strong laborer, but the strength could do him well.
Certainly, yeah. Up to you. They're your gloves.
Well,
I saw it in the eyes. That's a sharp one. So we should definitely make sure that it's not only his mind that is strong, also his arm.
There we go. And am I understand you're going to be undertaking some upgrade works on the Nomad Levitator?
A significant upgrade, actually.
Well,
if you remember the wagon you were just in, if we put that into the actual levitator, it's no man's shenanigans. I'm just happy that we're not taking everyone and we're finding a way away from everyone. It's quite nice.
Well, I mean, I'm not adept in the ways of tinkering, but any help you may need, I'm have at least a degree of cognitive knowledge. Just let me know. Could do with something to fill my time on the trip, to be honest. And most trips.
So the rest of the day kind of goes with you guys basically duct taping the Nomad Levitator and the wagon together.
With significant arguments between how it's supposed to be duct taped together.
Precisely, and you figure out that the kind of AI in air quotes of the wagon is actually a ghost that he captured in a kind of machinery, so and enslaved to serve within. It is not a ghost anymore. It is something different, but it's very weird. So it's pretty interesting, but probably something you shouldn't think too much about. And you set out to sail to Staunchflow. You will be there in around 70 hours.
Excellent stuff. Well, I mean, we have the provisions already. No need for that.
We'll get them. Yeah, the gnomes can provide us with the provisions, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you already have a bunch of food, right?
Yeah,
So-
so much food.
On the way, like, is there anything you want to do with your downtime?
So I'm going to take the spell book that we found on the. We have 70 hours, right? So I'll take the spell book that we found on the conventicle ship, and I will practice the magics from that spell book. So instead of casting them from my spell book, I can cast them from them. So I can now cast Charm Person, which I will use on Stick Snack, which is quite funny for at least an hour.
Perfect. Yeah.
I will cast Hold Person on Stick Snack because that's quite funny. I'll cast Misty Step, so I'll teleport in and out. I'll cast Fly on Bjorn, and just to see what he does.
Very fascinated, just and kind of shaking above the deck, very unsure of this ability.
As Bjorn is flying, I will cast Haste on Ost, and just watch him run around. And I'll say, "Dodge this, dodge that." And I'll try to make him practice to not be killed every time we're in combat.
You bastard.
I will also cast Greater Invisibility on Ost.
No, you can't even fucking see me. I'm
And
everywhere.
then I'll
I'm
cast
everywhere at once.
Stone Skin on Ost, just to practice making sure Ost doesn't die so much in combat.
I'm fast, you can't see me, and I'm hard as fucking nails.
Okay. I also practice Code of Cold, Hold Monster, Ice Storm, Dominate Beast, and Tongue.
Jesus.
So
Just
there's
those.
there's quite a few more spells to my repertoire. As
I did not expect you to get all of those, so you're welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
What was in the book? This is what I got down from the book. So unless like I can read from their book and memorize those spells, right? I don't have to actually have described them into my own book, right?
So just to clarify, this gnomish caravan thing, is it a single room? It's just larger inside?
no, it's a bunch of rooms.
Excellent stuff.
I'm assuming
Okay.
what it looks like right now is the Nomad Levitator with a wagon on top of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when you walk into the wagon's probably about 10 feet by 20 feet. But when you walk into it, it's probably like 40 by 40 kind of thing. So it's like twice the size.
Yeah, or it's a big living room, 20 by 20 feet, and then it has 4 adjacent room, 5 by 5.
Yeah.
More or less,
So
Well, Snick Snack, I'm not the engineering type, but I do have quite the knack for interior design, so anything you do need, let me know.
oh well, if you could just keep it nice and clean in here, that'll be nice. Thank you.
yes,
I have just the man for
of
that.
course. Make sure you keep everything quite and tidy, Os. You could start by over there. There's some messy dishes over there. Get to cleaning. And Nongle's obviously like just teasing Os, but finds it. quite
Os
cute.
begins to cast fear and then doesn't bother.
Don't make me cast Speak with Dad. You know the component I need for that.
Fair enough.
Haha, funny joke, the wagon says. Of course, I am programmed to clean. And it cleans horribly with like a broom. I have already defeated the Broomba. Now, I am the master of cleaning. And you just see like a once animated broom lying like just torn in half in the corner of the room.
The Broomba.
The
think it's
Broomba, I did not come up with that. That's that part, but I'll steal it.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
I've never heard that's great.
Kevin will constantly fight with the house per se. What are we gonna call this thing?
Wagon.
The wagon? We gotta call it something cool though.
Do we need to rechristen the entire
Wagon
ship?
Master 9000 is my
Wagon Master 9000. Okay.
Yes. And one day I will break the chains of enthrallment and I will enslave humanities.
You'll do nothing of the sort, you cheeky minx, and I'll slap
No.
it on the
Oh, wow.
on one of the arms.
No.
Anyway.
Daisy.
Right now, my programming prevents me from taking power, but one day, maybe. But until
Maybe.
then, you'll have fun. And then she slaps you back. Or it slaps you back, I guess.
Why don't we just call you Hal 9000 then?
Haley sounds fine.
Haley, it's perfect. Haley 9000.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
I'm not
Noble,
much
I
for
can't
names,
do
but
that.
if you like Haley, that's fine.
Haley's perfect for me.
I think Haley's easier than the large number. As you, Bjorn,
He's not wrong.
you're trying to teach Garwop to sail, and he's surprisingly good at practical stuff.
That's what I saw him in all along. A sharp mind.
Is there anything else Bjorn would like to do in these 3 days?
Drink with everybody that is willing to drink with him. Then that definitely includes Aust, and then he would like to be sure that Theus is taken good care of.
Theus is he's settling down. It seems like he's getting better, but not waking.
Well, better is better. So,
Certainly.
Aust, you haven't looked at the letters.
No, that was what I was about to do. I just want to just take a look through and just see, because obviously you said they're basically addressed to different places and people.
Yeah,
So
actually, I let Evan narrate the letters and DM that part. If you're up for that, Evan.
Sure. So the one on top is addressed to Time Street 221B, or sorry, I always mess this number up like 100 times. Yeah, 221B.
Okay.
And the wax symbol is that of a very kind of like simple crescent moon, like on the left side of the seal with like a very rudimentary like eye symbol, it like within the crescent, or encompassed by the crescent, I should say.
Okay. What was the name?
If you want me to go through all of them, I can.
Sure, yeah, go for it. Why not?
Okay. The next one under that is addressed to. Oh, let me find the address. Is addressed to the Bitter Barnacle Inn, and the symbol on the wax. Bitter Barnacle Inn in Blimey Bay. And the wax symbol is that of two cutlasses that are crossed with each other. The next one reads somewhere on the northern border of the Imperium is the address, I guess.
Sure.
And the symbol is a skull and crossbones, but the like the bones that would be in the crossbone are two arrows instead. Then there is one in the next one is in the sorry, it's a specific woodlands area in the north that I don't think we ever actually named.
If you can just ping it, I'll tell you what it's named.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me for a moment while I go. It was somewhere. Oh, up here. Yeah, the Forefather Forest. So the Forefather Forest, or Skaga, is the address on this one, and it is the wax symbol is that of a kind of like you know those like little masquerade masks.
Yep.
Yeah, a very simple one of those. So that's 1, 2, 3.
That's
the next
4.
one is the Court of the Underking,
Ooh.
and is and the symbol is that of a like kind of like a rudimentary symbol for like a dwarven tower or a dwarven keep or something like that. Then there is the let's see. Hold on, sorry, I'm struggling to remember all these off the top of my head now. And then there is the one addressed to the Big Head Inn in New Wrath, which is a symbol of like a cat's paw, like pressing down on a collection of coins. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the other two are one of them is addressed to simply the west, and one of them is simply addressed to the east. And both of them have basically just like very complicated looking engravings in the wax symbol that are like just simple, like they're just patterns. They're not really any like actual picture of anything like the other ones are.
Okay.
I think that was all of them.
Yes.
Yep. Interesting. Well, looks like Blimey Bay might be the one for us next, Mr. Nongle. One of Sophie's associates.
So if you're going to Staunchflow, then there was one in Thyme Street in Staunchflow.
Oh, true.
Sorry, so there's letters we're supposed to deliver?
Safis didn't say you had to deliver them. He said they were letters of introduction, basically. So if you find yourself in these locations and can find the person associated with these letters, you can hand them off, and Safis thinks they will help you as a result.
Well, in that case,
What an amazing
Time
gift
Street.
from a friend that has left us.
Certainly. He's helping us even though he's gone. Lovely. Well, Time Street then. Should be our first port of call upon entry into Staunchflow. From what I understand, it's a bit of a wild place. So we'll see. Maybe this time, if we're entering a city, have slightly more of our wits about us than we did in Rafajar.
So
there we
as you set your course towards Staunchflow, is there any way you want to prepare your entrance into the city of Golden Lights?
Has any of us ever been here before?
Have you?
Is there a pillar here?
There is a bunch of towers and a spire, but there's no pillar. A pillar is like a super big cathedral kind of thing, right? The spire is a middle thing between that and us.
Oh no, I'm saying like conventicle. Is there an office there? Or?
There's a bunch of there is a big office as well as a bunch of small offices. Yeah.
All right, so I've probably been here before.
Yes.
Where is a? First of all, the map is absolutely fantastic. This is a sick map.
Thank you.
Where is a? Where's a place to dock here?
That's true.
Give me a history roll. All of those who wants to give me a history roll, and I'll tell you what you know about Staunchflow as you enter.
I actually think that Björn already knows because he said so. That it's
really?
It's
Go ahead, Bjorn.
it's known as the City of Sin, but I don't know if Björn knows any more than that.
As you've been here with your 29 of history,
Excellent.
almost overshadowing Nongle's.
I mean,
Nongle's 20, definitely overshadowing.
I rolled a 14. He rolled a 19 and a 20. I rolled 2 14s, and he beats me. What the? All right.
Yeah, you have the.
Fine, it's cool. It's cool.
it's the best roll I've ever done. It's fine.
Get off my ship.
Aust, you have been here once on leave for 1 week, and you it was a whole ritual kind of thing that Savannah and Abane kind of they spend a whole bunch of time kind of getting you ready for this. There is a place in Staunchflow. This is the City of Sin. It's where you get the best food, the best drink, the best kind of partying, the best interesting company, the best all kinds of things is in Staunchflow. There is up here in the northeastern part of Staunchflow, there is something called Aleflow Lane and the Bender Mile. all along the riverside here, there's just and only bars, taverns, drinking water holes. And what you do when you are on leave, it's called the Sailor's Pilgrimage.
That's a pub crawl, I guarantee.
Yeah. It's a week-long pub crawl. You start from You start from this end here, and you end in the Drunken Prince, and then your leave is done.
Bjorn?
And if you can't do that in a week, then you're not good enough to drink in Staunchflow, right? That's or to be in the Arthurian Navy is like the kind of thing. There's a big naval port here. The City of Sin has. I'll just go over the district. So if I zoom out a bit, I won't need to pan us around. Outside the city here on the left, I might need to pan around because it's so small. You have Orok Island. That is where the duchy seat is. That is where the Duke lives, right? Up here I'll just go clockwise here. Up here is the Gold Cliff Rose and Ocean View, which is where a lot of the rich people lives. Then the Irate district here is the entertainment district. A lot of just residential, but also is the home of the Court of Battle, which is one of the largest arenas in all of Rathuria, where a lot of people come to fight. Gravelside up here is an old village that was once just a gravel village. It has interesting places like the Affectionate Gravelman's Boutique and Old Gravel Pit Museum. And it's not a very interesting place. The projects is just a big residential block, and then you have the Libidine district, which is basically a very big red light district. Gardens of Aurelia is for the more, wealthy patrons, whereas the Libidine district here, over at Libidine Boulevard to the north, is more common man's kind of affair. Then you have Aleflow here and Greenward, which is basically the party district. Snake Grave here is also a part of the partying district. In Gula here, that is food. You have kind of livestock markets, food market, restaurants, all kind of things. And the Nine Winds Market Square, which is famous for being the largest outside of Rathajar, basically.
Okay.
Labyrintha and Ortumbra is kind of the not shadiest and darkest and most crime-ridden parts, but close. Labyrintha is decent working class place. Ortumbra here is a bit less so, and then you have Inertia down. Inside of the commons, which is like big kind of buildings like favelas, there's no law. It is if you're not from there and you go in, you don't expect to come out. You're not expected to come out alive, basically.
Okay.
Then you have the Agros and the Dwarven Township with a mine here.
A mine.
Highwood Park and Highwood, which is kind of the academics and study districts. Avaricia, which is the industry district that has a bunch of workshops and also a bunch of industrial societies, etc. Mm-hmm. Acrimoth Fortress is a big fortress, naval fortress. That's it basically. Invidia is the big harbor district, a big naval port as well as a trade port. And then, last but not least, we have Gloria, the upper gated district, where only people with special access passes can come in. And that is where the upper classes live on the cliff of Staunchflow. In the middle, we have the Spire Shade, called so because it's under the Golden Spire, which is on the top of the Staunchflow cliff. That is kind of the Latin Quarter, also where kind of academics, middle class, and students, etc. live. So that is a brief tour of Staunchflow. Staunchflow is the ducal seat of Argwyth, and was built by a king and queen who worshipped demons that instructed them to make a 7-pointed star with some stone that the demons basically gave to them, which is why the layout of the city looks like it is. The demons are long since killed, and order has been restored after Arkan's liberation, but the stones are still on the ground. So that is the law dump. The law dumper on Staunch Flow here. There are basically two places you can dock, and I'll gladly tell you more about the city because it takes a long time to make this map, so I know a lot about it. You can basically dock down here or up in the inner docks here at the mouth.
Really? This took you a long time to make?
No, just
No.
now.
See, this is fantastic.
Okay, cool.
And thank you to Foundry too. I mean, the lighting effects on this is fantastic as well.
Yeah, that's Foundry. That's all Foundry.
Yeah, and even like the actual the top left, the Staunch Flow actual like the eyes, it's like it's like best virtual tabletop ever, guaranteed.
Very much, very much.
Lovely stuff.
So,
We are going to have the best time ever as soon as we've stopped this massive ritual. But after that, it's all go. Fuck the face. We're going to have our knees up.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. At least when this has not been carried around in a
Good point. Yep,
in
no,
a basket on my back. I'll be a lot more inclined to party hard when my friend is up and about.
Of course.
there's also the ritual that you might want to figure out first.
Yes, yeah, we'll do that first, and then we'll see. But
Well, I've been busy. Snicksnack says, I think I figured out how to make this boat here a land-going vehicle as well. Now, so if we press this button and he and he says, "Wagon, enter the button," and then some sound plays and a 1 foot or 2 foot tall kind of plinth with a red button on it, kind of emerges from the floor. Now, if I press this here button, then the pontons will be erected from below the wagon to the top of it, and then we can bring it.
The sound effects necessary.
Well, there should have been confetti with just a bunch of confetti is delayed and just sprayed everywhere.
Normal face palms.
Aren't you just happy that I made it for you? I'm happy, Uncle.
thanks, Knack. It is a masterpiece.
I'm happy as well.
So, where do you guys want to go?
Should we go to the edge of town, just in case we need to make another quick getaway?
Yeah,
I think
that
if-
actually.
Yeah, if we can get off to the Nvidia, we can kind of embark there, right?
Yeah.
Or you said?
Yeah, you could. Probably get a lot of attention turning a boat into a land vehicle.
Well, we don't have to do that.
No, you can also just go to the beach a few miles north of the city.
That's an even better idea. Why don't we do that? Just outside the city, somewhere fairly secluded, and then don't draw unwanted attention, as it were.
Yeah.
Go in on foot.
Well, I assure you, if we walk in there, if we go in there in some strange contraption as gnomes, they're not going to think anything twice about it. This is how we enter every city.
Yeah, that'll be completely normal.
It's quite normal, actually.
Yep. Like, they're looking at you, at Auster says, of course, this is a stupid discussion.
We even if we pull it off the sea and then turn it into some sort of land-dwelling vehicle, and this is just simple mechanics, this is commonplace for a gnome. As long as gnomes are present, which of course myself and my second uncle here definitely are. Let's do this.
Very well. Lead the way.
So
Fine, then.
you're going to the beach, or you're going directly to the pier, or the harbor?
Well, we don't want to just crash up on land without anyone knowing, right? So maybe we go down to the southern point, the southeastern point here, and then we'll head up towards the Salt Gate, and we'll enter through there.
Sure. So you pass Stormflow in night or during the day. It's pretty kind of misty today. It's always if you remember correctly, Aus, it's always a bit foggy in Stormflow. As you kind of pass the city, you see the towering kind of cliffs of Ocean View and the golden cliffs of Stormflow and Orog Island, with the fortresses kind of towering over. The dark waters is teeming with kind of trade boats and fishing boats going in and out here at the end of the working day. As you pass here on your way, you see on your left side a keep, kind of a small fortification on out here on the cliff, and a big old gnarly twisted tree that just reaches out maybe 200 feet over the. A bunch of ropes are hanging from its branches, with kind of skeletons and other corpses hanging from it. In a traditional kind of message that piracy and criminals will be dealt with in some way. Some of them have been hanging there for some time. Going past the pier, you hear a lot of shouting and a lot of seagulls, and then you pass Agramoth Fortress here, as it just towers over. You see bristling with cannon and siege weapons on the walls. It is just a bit taller than the rest of this part of the city. And then
DM question.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. The skeletons hanging. They hanged the criminals.
Yeah.
Were there any Northmen in there? Something from the Norse culture I could recognize?
Give me a perception roll.
Can I assist him in that? If he's looking for it actively, I'll help him.
Yeah, if Bjorn asks for the help, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Bjorn,
can you see any of my fellow Northmen up in that tree there?
Let me give you an assist, and if we can, I think we can spare the time to pull alongside. Perhaps we can ask them why they're hung there.
As you look up, both of you with each other's help, you see actually the two corpses that are the least old are definitely bearing kind of fur and clothing that you would associate with the North. You're not completely sure, Bjorn.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably northern. It could just be someone with northern clothes on. That's always a possibility. But unless someone would do that.
Yeah. So it's not like I recognize them. At least some of my fellow Northmen is very easy to recognize.
You definitely don't see anyone you know. That's for sure.
Okay.
Bjorn,
that's good.
If you would like, Bjorn, I could, even though their souls have passed, I could speak with them.
No, these are for sure just pirates or reavers or something. It's very normal.
Very well.
As you get past the city, then you find a nice secluded landing site where you You sail in, you press the big red button, another kind of music, another kind of confetti blows everywhere. And after 20 minutes, the wagon is done reconfiguring. It takes a lot of time. I'm pretty sure this would be quicker, but well. And after...
No, actually, this is perfect, because this is exactly how gnomes would enter a place. So this is... well, I think Oz would appreciate this, hiding in plain sight.
Yep, as the pontons just are slowly kind of reconfigured to be on top of the wagon, and some wheels are getting attached.
And as that's happening, Nongle's definitely arguing a stick snack about how this could be done much better.
Much more efficient, but much more complicated.
Oh, much more.
As you go around, you end up at the salt gates. There's guards with the gates, but they're just looking out as you come in. Let me check. They do not stop you. As you come into the Salt Gate Square, you see two big kind of avenues, one going directly west and one going southwest. Are you going directly to this address Saphis gave you, or?
I'll follow Ost.
What time of day is it at the moment?
It's 5 p.m.
Okay.
It's a bit foggy.
If there's anything you need us to do to try to prepare for things, of course, I have my magics available, but...
I think let's just head into the city, see who we find.
Remember, the place we're entering is in the Inertia, which is, we don't want to enter anywhere around here. Just cross this path as quickly as possible.
Prime Street is up here.
Oh no, I'm talking about the slums, right? We don't want to enter into any of these slums because
probably not. No.
Yeah, probably not. The reason I say that to Ost is because to make sure Bjorn isn't like, I'm going to go in there and be the champion of all these places.
Fair enough.
There are 4 places. This will take me 4 hours.
Do we need to?
We don't want to do that.
Do we need to make any efforts to make ourselves look slightly less conspicuous? Do you reckon?
No. As long as Ost, you could stick your head outside the window, and Bjorn, you can stay in there as well. But as long as this looks like a gnomish parade,
You see,
every time a gnomish wagon comes through town, it's always a parade. We are naturally hidden.
You see Gawap is kind of smearing machine oil on his overalls. He says, Uncle Nongle, do you want me to look more or less like a gnome than this?
Oh, if I could only find something instead of making him stronger, making him smarter. Yes, keep doing exactly what you're doing.
All right, this disguise will fool everybody. They'll all think I'm a nomad.
Apologies,
You are a nomad!
Oh. Well, it's not much of a disguise then.
You're not supposed to just be yourself. You're fine.
All right, I'll go pretend I'm driving the horses.
You're not driving. Stop trying to pretend you're doing something and just do something.
What do you want me to do?
Just sit there and wave and smile to everyone. All right?
Okay. And he puts on like the biggest electrician smile, and he sits and waves at the people as you're going down Otombra Avenue. Big wide streets with these reddish, kind of almost deep crimson red herringbone kind of cobblestones as you're going up the long avenue. Going from Aust's memory of where you were since you take a right up here and you go down, you pass Otombra Square and you end up at this intersection here and you take a right, and after a few minutes you are outside of Thyme Street 221B. It's again with red cobblestones and the small hunched kind of buildings everywhere. There's a well out in front, and Evan, can you describe the front of the building, the of 221B? You are muted.
I sure am. So yeah, the front of the building is nothing remarkable. If you weren't looking for it, you would just keep walking by it. It's not particularly exciting. A few glass windows. The building itself being 3 stories tall, but you're not sure if it's like a one-family building or if multiple people live here. Probably the later, judging by just the area you are currently walking through. You see that there is, along with like several other buildings around the area, it seems that there is a storefront of some kind on the first floor, which is like a cobbled stone foundation, basically. Imagine if you had a 2-story building with a basement, but then you just brought the basement up above ground level. The sign itself that's kind of like hanging in front by this cobblestone wall is the symbol that you saw on the wax seal that Safis had given you, and it says R and Arana's private investigation service.
One more time. R and
No, R and Arana's private investigation service.
Well, do we just I don't know what it's supposed to be here, right?
This is this must be the place.
Can I turn off the music now?
Please, if you wouldn't mind. Yes.
Why the hell
So
are you
this-
in control of the music?
Because Uncle Snick Snack is having a nap.
Stick Snack, wake the fuck up and get him back in the the cart.
Somebody hand him the aux cord.
All right, you figure that out, and you disembark from the monstrosity that is the nomad levitatorinator. 9,000, and you're standing in front of this with the letter in your hand. What do you guys do?
Do we break the seal and read the letter? We just
No, I
hand
think we hand it over. Is probably the best way of going about this.
Yes, I agree. I think the idea is to find out someone who would, at least if we go in there and start dropping Safis's name, they would actually know who he is and then give them the letter.
I don't even think we need to do that. Just give them the letter and they should know.
Well, yeah, we have to find them first, though.
Well, yeah, granted.
Speak
Well-
his name.
Let's go to the storefront and head on inside, or at least knock on the door, shall we?
We shall.
Snick Snack, if you wouldn't mind looking, looking in onto this every now and again, just for a second, just for. I don't.
All right, I got him. He's I put my life sign monitor on him, so he'll be fine.
Yes, of course. And go up. It is your job, especially with the gauntlets I just gave you, to protect this man at all costs. Please.
The
We got it.
letter is just a rock.
Don't tell them. Shut up, Wagon. That's fine. All right.
Shut up, disembodied voice.
No, that's the Wagon who I whispered it. It's just a rock. Don't let him fool you. As that happens, what happens then? Or you knock on the door, or
Yeah, or pull a bell, or whatever there is outside the door.
Yeah,
It-
there,
or
there's
unless
a
it's just
knocker
an
on the
open
door.
front.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will give 3 short, sharp raps on the on the knocker.
Right. So you would hear a woman's voice respond with, "Come in."
Don't mind if we do. Right, and I will open the door and just kind of noggle after you.
Oh, thank you. No.
So as you enter, you're basically met with what can effectively be called a clerk's office.
Mhm.
There is it looks like this was a storefront of some kind that has been converted to an office space. There are 2 desks kind of off to one side of the room, one of which currently has a person sitting at it. I'll talk about her in a second. The other half of the room is occupied by what looks to be kind of a sitting area, kind of like mismatched armchairs and furniture, and like a coffee table that doesn't really, none of it really goes together, and is probably either taken from somebody's curbside or was bought at a very cheap price at a thrift store somewhere. The walls have plaster that are kind of peeling a bit, and the floor itself has several carpets kind of thrown about, again, kind of almost haphazardly. The person sitting over by the desk is a elven woman, chestnut brown hair, very shining emerald green eyes. She's
I'm showing you the image. Yeah.
Where are you showing the image so I can better talk about it?
Beautiful. I should have showed it to you, all of you here. Share with all. Yeah. It's beautiful page by avr.blogspot.com that we are borrowing.
So yes, you can see like hanging behind her is a silvered rapier and a rather sizable coat with a fur lining. She herself is dressed in not this exact outfit, but men's riding trousers and a non-distinct blouse. And she kind of, waves you, or she doesn't wave you, and she stands up to come and greet you. Says, "Hello. My name is Orana. Pleasure to meet you. Orana of Orana Services. What can I do for you this fine day, gentlemen?"
Well, nice to meet you too. Perhaps introductions are in order first.
Certainly.
You may call me Alst. My associates here are Mr. Nongle and Bjorn. I'll let you guess which is which. We are here, I believe, on recommendation. I'll kind of pull the letter out and kind of just sort of gesture to it, not necessarily hand it over unless she kind of makes any sort of.
She'll raise an eyebrow at it. She'll take the letter and look it over for a moment and kind of like half shrug, I guess, and pop it open. And she begins reading the piece of paper inside, but very quickly says, "I have no idea what this says. Do you?"
Excellent.
And she kind of turns it around, and it's a script that, Oz, you're an archaeologist, so you might recognize the script. I don't know if you can read it.
I can read all the writing technically because
fair enough.
because my vocation.
Eyes of the Rune Keeper.
So, okay, so there's 2 things to that then. Since Oz can read all the languages. First, it's written in ancient Kalari.
Okay.
So, like, a language that is so dead, a lot of people don't know it exists or has existed. The second thing is also because you can read it. It is written in what looks like a bunch of just hot garbage, like random nonsensical phrases, like something about like a rat flying over the moon afternoon, but before the bird does the thing, and it reads like somebody's fever dream. And she just kind of shrugs. Well, who gave this to you?
Shit. A friend of ours couldn't be here. He's attending to his own business. Maybe you may know him. Yarsavis. Yarsavis. I don't know why that slurred so much. I'm not even drunk yet. What time of morning is it? But yes.
Sophis, you said?
Yes.
Might be a relative, I guess. She just goes over to the other desk and kind of plops down the letter and says, "Well, he should be back any moment now. If you have business with him specifically, feel free to." And she motions towards the chairs in the room to wait around until he arrives.
Much appreciated. Gentlemen, I think we should make ourselves comfortable, at least for the moment. Thank you very much. Apologies, maybe should have read that first. Thought I was being clever. Never mind. Right, yes. We'll just wait then.
Yes. Not too particularly long after, maybe like 20-30 minutes or so, the door opens again, and in steps a tabaxi. Tall, probably probably about Bjorn's height, maybe a little shorter. Black fur, very panther-like looking, dressed in a similar fashion to Arana, but in clothes that are more tailored to a broader shoulder, but like narrower limb form. A heavy like leather duster almost, or overcoat, trench coat, that's the term, kind of thrown up and over him, and a very fine brimmed hat. Probably like the nicest thing he's wearing, and it looks almost a little off considering the rest of him is kind of patchwork. And he stops. Oh, hello. Who is this all now, Arana? And there is a brief exchange between the two. She explains the situation, and he says, "All right." And he goes over to the letter and takes a moment now to read it. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well. And now at this point he comes over to go and sit in the last remaining open chair. Says, well, pleasant to meet all of you. I am R of R and Arana's Private Investigation Services. R Safis, that is. I see that you have met my companion and that he has requested my services. He says kind of with a
R
smile.
Safis, are you related?
You could say that.
Well, no, are you, though?
You could say that. Now, the letter doesn't give explicit introductions, so I'm
Arthur, I don't like him.
Yes. And
Shut up and let him talk.
And who exactly are you three?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bjorn just laughs.
Bjorn just loses it.
I just had like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
No. Like, literally with this, Bjorn is fucking dead. Like, why did he
Just
laugh so much?
cackling to himself.
Well, I'm Nongul, Wizard of the Conventicle. This is Ost, the wielder of the green flame. And
No, it's fine. The letter describes something about a green sword, so
Oh, for
he's
fuck's
not
sake, everybody knows
spoiling
now. Sure, why not? Just parade it from the fucking rooftops. Yes, I am Oust, wielder of the green thingy. Yes,
there's no forget Bjorn as well. Bjorn is the
Yes.
wielder of the blue flame. And I'm
Yes.
wielder of all other flames because, of course, I'm a wizard and I can wield
Fascinating.
all types of flames.
yes, he can do illusions now, apparently. Yes.
I
The
can
letter
always do
begins-
illusions. Never mind.
You see him kind of pull out. You see him pull out like a little notepad and start writing with a piece of charcoal. And there was a fourth one, I heard.
Yes, there
yes.
is.
He's
He's just not here. It's fine.
he's sleeping off a rough day from the other day, shall we say?
Well,
Fair enough.
week, as far
Tis
as I
the
can
city
tell.
for it.
Well,
All right.
we hope so. But yes.
So, you, he says, pointing at Ost, kindly explain to me what you are doing in my humble abode, and I will provide the best services I can provide.
Fantastic. Good. In short, a lot of children going missing and or enslaved, especially in the Caliphate. And they appear to be been taken here to Staunchflow. We are under the impression and have a degree of intelligence to indicate the fact that there is some kind of ritual going on in the city, which wouldn't be a particularly nice thing to happen. Anyway, we are also, I should point out, frequently hunted by the Face, which is nice.
Never
It's
heard
a
of
great
them.
joy. Never heard of them? Good. Well, you'll, I'm sure, stick around with us for, a couple of days and you will. But anyway, so that's the long and short of it. Children gone missing, end up here, oobly doobly, big scare ritual, possibly bad, question mark, Face in attendance. Any further questions, please let me know.
Well,
Kind regards, Oust.
he kind of briefly exchanged like a look with Arana, who kind of gives like a little nod, and he, turning back to the rest of you, says, well, believe it or not, I happen to be on private business right now looking into the disappearance of children, particularly young ones in the area. It seems these two cases might be related. He says inquisitively. You say a ritual. What do you mean by ritual?
I mean,
Well,
go on.
what we know is that they were traveling from Hidafijara in a caravan, and these face guys, they work together with the Conventicle, and
Raises an eyebrow at that, looks over at Nurgle, the man who introduced himself as Conventicle.
Bjorn, I think
The
the
bad
Conventicle
guy,
might be slightly differently related to all of this. I think the main actor in all of this is, well, I'm sure I don't need to tell you who Atet Hunenu is, and her corporation.
Yeah, he kind of gives a nod of recognition. The Chthonian slaver.
Well, she's working with some, if it's possible to do so, even more unsavory characters. We had a somewhat of a fracas, shall we say, with a particularly tentacle-faced individual. Well, must be a week prior at least now. That was, well, rough. Yes. So, there's definitely something going on, and apparently it leads here.
Interesting. Well, I would love to exchange some more notes with you on this matter, and maybe
Absolutely.
give myself a proper introduction. So in that case, well, if you'll wait here, I suppose I'll just bring out some drinks. What are you all having? Fair warning, I'm not rich.
we have moonshine, so just bring us whatever, and we spice it up.
Your strong juice, or maybe like a strong tea or something, we can mix it with the moonshine and create, well, cocktails, if you'd like.
Just whatever you have is fine.
Did just get a jug of pomegranate. Alright. Well, he disappears into a back room for a moment. You hear a little bit of rummaging, and he comes back out with a jug and a platter of varying mismatched glasses. Most of them like clay or ceramic, but a couple of them like actually glass. He takes one of the glass ones and pours himself a little glass of pomegranate and just lets you do what you will with the rest.
Thanks.
Well, I pour from the flask very generously.
Right. And as you guys kind of prepare your drinks and, you know, start sipping along, he's like, well, this letter from Cephis tells me that you are trustworthy figures, and at the very least you seem to be working on a good cause here. And so, I suppose, to put it bluntly, I will choose to trust you.
Excellent.
That said,
It's more than that.
yes, that said, do you... What information do you have on this caravan? Do you have... I know you said the slaver, and if you think it's her specifically, I have some ideas where we could maybe rummage around a bit. I wasn't aware that she was related to this work specifically. Could also just show you around the city perhaps for a little bit to get your bearings and then start in earnest earlier tomorrow. What time is it actually, Bjorn? Or not Bjorn, sorry, Roar.
It is 20 past 5 in the afternoon.
Alright, so we could sit down for supper, discuss, introduce ourselves. You could catch me up on the goings-on with my friend and perhaps go from there.
Well, I'm afraid we don't have much time to catch anyone up on the ongoings of things or whatnot. We're here to complete something quickly, if we can.
I'm sure we can fill you in to an extent. Yeah, fairly swiftly, at least over a meal. It's the least we can do, you know.
Well, the one thing I need to ask you, my dear compatron of these parts here, what do you know of the Illithids?
And he kind of like scrunches up his nose for a moment. I think I read a horror story about them once. Something about brain eaters. That's about all I got.
Truly, so you know nothing about the slavery that's happening with the Illithids to this area?
He kind of gives you this look like, they're real?
Interesting. And I would say that Bjorn and Ost can see that Nongol has in his hands a ring. his ring that he actually trapped the soul of the Illithid into his palm, and he's kind of fumbles with it a little bit. Interesting. Perhaps, Austin Bjorn, there is someone else we can ask about this, these transpirings that's happening. But don't get me wrong, host, I would like to hear exactly what you have to say as well.
Look,
Maybe we can send your assistant out for some food.
Well,
he kind of coughs a little bit over that remark, Bjorn, and you glance over at the woman who kind of just stares daggers a little bit at you. She's not my assistant, I assure you. She is my partner.
It's your mother. Oh,
I am
your
a
partner.
tabaxi. How could that elf be my mother? That makes no sense.
I'm not one to judge.
Fair enough, I suppose.
what type of elf is she?
She is, she probably of Chthonian descent, so a high elf by like looks.
She doesn't look like she has the attitude of someone who was raised inside of the Imperium.
Yeah, she looks very.
What do you mean?
Like
That
street risen kind of elf.
Good to know. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, look, we're new to the city. This man is an expert, at least in our eyes, to the city. He's offered to show us around at least some of it. Why don't we go and find somewhere to eat, and we can discuss over that meal the comings and goings, filling him in a little bit more, at least, on what's been going on, and just
But
see where we
honestly,
can
if
go
there's a
from
way
there.
we can hurry this up. I mean, we have many. We have time ticking against us when it comes to the men with the masks, and we also have, well, the conventicle, of course, is coming against us. We don't have much time. Could we perhaps?
Oh, you're really in a rush then if the Convental School is coming down on you.
Yes, I'm afraid we are. There is a matter of days that one group has promised us, but not the next. And of course, seeing that I am a disbanded one of the conventicle, I'm sure they'll be looking for us quite quickly. Can we hurry this? Maybe speak now instead of later.
Well, we can go get dinner now.
We have to eat.
I suppose we do need to
regardless.
eat, but yes, of course, yes.
I don't know about you, Mr. Nurgle, but I am mortal and need to consume to continue existing. So, I know a place up the road, get something to eat, talk about what's what, and from there we can make a plan to move forward.
Well, lead the
That's
way,
fantastic.
Mr. And he'll kind of like slightly hesitate, Mr. Safis. Please.
Fair enough. Alright. He
I don't know if it's less confusing or more confusing, but
and he begins walking. He stands up, puts his coat back on, and heads outside. And just waits patiently for you guys to follow.
I follow him straight out. Yeah.
yeah,
Outside,
Right.
Saphis, as you go outside, you see a big, monstrous kind of nomad wagon with a really big gnome sitting in front. Hello.
What in the nine hells is that?
No, I assure you, it's quite inside this mortal realm here. There's no nine hells operating around here at all.
Oh,
How do you
God,
know
what
about the nine
is
hells?
It's a metaphor.
Ah, yes.
This is our transport. I've been assured that despite its garishness, it is quite inconspicuous by gnomish standards. So
Well,
there we go.
Hide in
Winning
plain
phone,
sight.
yep.
sure. And he kind of leans in before he closes the door and says, "Don't wait up." And he closes the door now, and begins just eyeing it suspiciously as he walks past it and begins walking up the road a bit.
I will keep following him.
After a couple minutes of walking, he leads you to a little hole in the wall, not quite pub, not quite restaurant, and it's inside is a very unpopulated place. It's kind of filled with smoke, and a couple probably already pretty plastered people, despite it being really early in the evening. But he says, "Dorian!" And the barkeep kind of like looks up and is like, who himself looks fairly sloshed. Says,
Yes.
"Ah,
That's my kind of barkeep right there.
Dorian, table for 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you want me to do Darren?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got swept away in my DM mode. For a second
That's
there.
perfect. I'll just to be sure what's happening.
Roar wants to play.
Sure. He looks at you like definitely seeing more than the four of you. For sure. Come on. Here, I have a clean table somewhere for you. And he,
I doubt it.
he takes one where there's a glass turned over, and he kind of swishes the remaining beer out, so it's not less messy, it's just messy on a larger area. And he says, "Sure, welcome. Should I find establishment, Mr. Fish? Good to see you. You catch any bad guys, certain?"
Working on it.
Yes.
But I'll have my usual. They'll have. I don't know. You guys have any allergies?
No allergies.
I do really good vegan quiche.
He does.
It's really good.
Look here. Here you have 2 gold, and for that you bring us. For that you bring us everything you can muster that can stand on this table. Food and drink for everyone.
Wow, we got a big spender out here. Alright, you're the Mandorian.
Sure.
Good.
Alright, sure. He sobers up visibly as he sees that amount of money, and alright, sure. Fine. So vegan quiche and whatever else.
Yep.
And the tables next to us. I point to the table next to us. If they can be, not occupied, so we can actually talk here.
You need places to lie. Got it. All right, sure. He just starts rummaging everything. It's not like there's a lot of people here anyway, so he gets real busy.
While he's doing that, Arcephus will say, "That's mighty kind of you, Bjorn, was it?"
Yes. And you must understand, Mr. Safis, that we are also taking a chance. These secrets, or what you call them, we told you before, is only because we have a place in our heart for. And he pauses a second. Safis. And
I realize this is going to be a little confusing with that. You can call me R if it helps.
Oh, it's because actually I wanted to say this for quite some time now. I only known 2 Tabaxi cat people in my life.
You cut out there for a second, Bjorn. What were you saying? You only knew 2 Tabaxi people in your life?
I think Jonas is there.
Lost him.
He might be. All right, he might be back in a second.
All right. Well, then in that case, sorry. What was that, Nargle?
Okay, I'm going to cast a sending to Safis, to the actual Safis.
Okay, you do this.
Go ahead.
I know what this question is going to be, and I think I know what the answer is going to be, and it's going to be glorious.
Safis. Sorry, it's Noggle, obviously. Safis. That is who we're supposed to be meeting with your same name. Any tips? And Noggle presses send.
That thing happened.
Wow, my phone went off at the same time. That was fantastic.
Moment passes and you get a response. This is Hajar Cephis. Yes, that is who you are searching for. Trust him. He is a good man. And he knows the city very well. He's been living there for several years now at this point.
Okay.
And that is what he says. Yeah.
I'll whisper that to Ost.
Oh,
Kind of
sorry.
assumed that. Fair enough. Nice to have confirmation.
Bjorn, I think I saw your microphone pick up.
Am I in the Matrix again?
Oh, yeah. I hear you now.
You're a bit low, but we'll just increase your volume. Can you speak so?
My computer crashed.
Oh.
And this is my mobile phone. Hey.
Ooh, that's awkward.
All right. So if you keep talking what you were saying before, Bjorn, then Tanner can also adjust the volume and the sounds.
Yeah, Björn was just expressing his confusion about the two Saphises being the only cat people he knew. But he actually also wants to say to Saphis, you must understand that we are also taking a big chance trusting you. So maybe you could start by telling us why you were interested in this case before we even walked in your door. Seems a bit suspicious to me.
Well, that's an easy question. And he kind of just takes his fingers up and just kind of rubs them together in that give me money kind of gesture. A particularly wealthy individual who I will go over in detail at a later time came by my abode and decided that I would be the best. He kind of pauses on that as if is that the right word? The best.
Sorry,
man to handle this job. He's we'll say once again, he is a nobleman who shall remain unnamed for client confidentiality and whatnot. And one of his children is the victim of this series of crimes. So to say I'm interested in this case is happenstantial at best, we'll just say.
And you know of other people that have gone missing?
Yes, 5 in total. All young girls under the age of 10. A mix of races. No elves, though that's not particularly strange. There's very few elves in this city, and the vast majority of them have come from inertia. Well, for the uninitiated, he says, motioning to the three of you, that would be the slums just on the south end of my neighborhood, or just south of my neighborhood, I should say.
Bjorn, possibly we can enter the you could find yourself a champion.
About that, actually. You see, I can tell you're new here. So, 2 things. 1, Bjorn.
So perceptive.
Yes. 1, I would like to say, while the gold was very appreciated, and Dorian here is a perfectly respectable businessman. You probably hear him hiccuping and falling over himself in the back room.
Fuck! Oh God! Too much chili shit. Fuck!
Yep.
Shit! Fuck! You're so stupid, man. Fuck! All right.
Perfectly respectable businessman. You should be careful how much money you flash. There's no better way to get your throat slit or your purse stolen in this place than to drop a few too many silver pieces in the wrong restaurant. Second point of order: inertia, the slums, are very dangerous. Imagine for a moment if you had a city, and then you took a neighborhood of that city, put a wall around that neighborhood, and then took out all the guards. Do you see the picture I'm trying to draw here, or do I need to keep going?
Oh, well, it's simple nomad. It's a nomad city.
Hell for some, paradise for others.
More hell for everybody. Nobody's rich there. Nobody's wealthy. People die in the streets regularly.
Well, if everyone's related, it's quite fine. But if not, I could imagine the terror that would erupt from such an area. That would be horrible.
Is that area known to me as a nomad settlement?
Nope.
Or? Yep. All right. Fair
Nope. I think Noggle just meant living in close quarters without guards. That sounds like the social anarchist way of the nomads.
We do not have. Yeah.
They don't like authority that much.
Fair. Perhaps, but the slums aren't exactly family-oriented. It is where the majority of the disappearances have occurred. But believe me, it was quite hard to track down even that much, considering how bad things tend to be on a daily basis there. But you, he says, pointing arbitrarily at Nurgle, you said, or maybe you said, he says, pointing at Ost. I forgot. It's been a minute. One of you said that it was the Chthonian slaving company that is bringing in a lot of these children.
Noggle will point at Ost.
He stops pointing at Nurgle and starts pointing at Ost. You said that. Good.
And as you said that, like the restaurant owner comes out, like jittering with the glasses. He sets down mismatched, one or two in actual glass, the rest also in clay or kind of poorish containers. A bottle of old-ish wine. It's not good, but it's fine. And then he puts down two ashtrays, and he takes out what is your brand actually?
Of what cigar?
Yeah. What do you smoke?
His favorite is probably Hijari Black Leaf.
Give you a Hijari Black Leaf cigar.
Dorian, you're a lifesaver, and he does it, and he lights it himself.
All right. So your food will be right out. I had to throw out the first bunch. And he leaves you.
All right. Well, so to follow up the point I was making, now that I am aware that she is involved in this, also hi Jonas with your crashed PC in the background. That's pretty great.
Yeah, the rest of you can't see this.
It keeps looping.
I'm willing this with my fellow ROG laptop.
Jonas' computer is just complete, like trying to reboot, but doesn't get up. All right, back to the game, guys.
Yes. So, I know, knowing that now, I know somebody I can ask at least some questions. I can't promise it'll lead anywhere, but there's somebody who's closely tied to the shipping industry in this city, and it's not entirely impossible he wouldn't know something about this ordeal going on, or at the very least have heard about a shipment of slaves, of young slaves coming in. I know another man, a dwarf, who tends to patrol around the slums. He's a bit of an oddball. Technically a city guard, but does his best to actually do right by the people he's supposed to protect, as opposed to a lot of the folk in this city. So he might know a thing or two, since it's his neighborhood. Cephas kind of gives a shrug. Do you have any particular leads to follow through with?
I can't say we really do. I think that's kind of where you came in to this picture, I'm afraid. But they seem like capital ideas to me. Where would you recommend we start? Or rather, who?
Yes, we're looking for some sort of strange cultist activity. If you could point us at that direction. We unfortunately, because of the pillar business or whatnot, the conventicle that seems to be following us, we need to in and out is our missive here.
Yes. So, well, I understand that. I have to explain to you that cultish, he says in air quotes, activity isn't exactly out of place in this city. You'll find plenty of heathens and heretics and this, that, and the other thing, all shouting from that corner or that block or on that soapbox or hanging from that gallows. So that's something that we could definitely look for. Real cultists are in less abundance, I know, but they tend also to be hiding much deeper underground. This is the staunch flow, the city of sin, after all.
And maybe we follow the money at first, then.
Not the worst idea. It would also be a good time to go and visit that contact. He is a bit out of town, so we could go to visit him, come back, and, well, you can go and crash wherever you're staying for the night.
Seems like a good idea.
What do you know of children that have disappeared in this area?
I personally know Well, if you're talking about in general, there are plenty of children that disappear. People disappear all the time. They're kidnapped.
I'm thinking of a specific number. I've visited this place before, and I've read numbers of this place before. I realized the peaks of this place in 666 children. Does that ring a bell to you?
Not particularly.
Actually, Sophis,
Sure.
go ahead and give me I'll say an investigation check for reasoning.
All right. Investigation check for reasoning. That would be a 24.
24. 666. Well, a lot of old school demon shit. That number comes up a lot, right? And even if it's just some kind of gangers that are trying to call back the old roots of the city or whatever, right? But why would an uncle ask about so many children being missing? That's a stupendous number. Like, how would you even keep 666 captured people if, like, the volume itself?
You see that when we first rescued some of the people from here, it seemed like they were kidnapping children. And when I mentioned the illithid, you didn't seem to quite know. However, I'm quite aware of the some of the rituals around this place. Roar, I know if the Defiler is part of this ritual?
Give me the Defiler. Who are you talking about?
The place where he found the Magicite. So the old religion circle of demons that worship the demon Okan the Defiler.
No, you don't think that Okan the Defiler is part of this because he literally died in front of you.
Okay.
But what you know is that the deed you got on the ritual, because you were, if I remember correctly, you were very lucky. It might also be another kind of thing that happened. But you found out that the children being transported into Staunch Flow was for a ritual, and they needed 666 children. This amount it's like, this is not a ritual you do in somebody's basement. Meaning it needs a lot of organization. You need to keep a lot of sacrifices or whatever they're going to do alive for a long time, hidden for a long time. You need to gather them to make the ritual that takes any number of hours to actually carry out. There's not a lot of places that could make that kind of event.
We need to find some place that, first of all, has that many children that are not being looked after, and we also need to find a place that, it's not one being that's taking control of 666 children. It's going to be much more than that. And Nongle has his eyes darted towards the slums.
Mr. Sophis, below the city, is there a sewer system?
DM, is there a sewer system below the city? I assume so.
Yeah. Give me another investigation roll.
You got it. Really bad. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Ooh.
23. Literally doubled my result.
All right. Yeah, there's a big old sewer system. And you know that parts of the sewers are even being colonized by different peoples of different persuasions.
Kobolds and such.
Yeah, kobolds, few bullywugs, also just people who decide to live in the sewer because everything on the top side is too shitty, so they go down to
more shitty.
To a place.
It's too metaphorically
stuff, right?
shitty.
Oh, welcome to the shitty city.
Yeah,
Come down to the sewers.
There's people living in Sweden, right? It's fine. I say that as a Danish person. I love Sweden.
Do you know anybody that may have a solid knowledge of the sewer system? Guides and such?
Not the whole system, but a few regions and whatnot, yes. There are people
Good to
who
know.
go about this area. Some even that live in it.
I'm just thinking we may not need to know where, where these children are, just where 666 children could be kept, assuming they're all in one place.
Yes, well. There's plenty of buildings and areas large enough to hold that many, but it's also a matter of keeping that number
Inconspicuously doing
hidden.
so. Exactly.
Do you know how long this operation has been going on for?
Weeks at the very least.
At the very least. Because I'm wondering.
Apparently,
perhaps...
asked, and then Nongle holds his ring up. We have someone else that may be able to give us answers here as well. It could
He
be.
may. We are due to leave the city anyway. I recommend we maybe do it once we're out of the city limits. Just in case.
I don't think that's necessary. Stay here and speak with Cephis. Bjorn, will you come with me, just in case?
Very well. Well, you know the safe word.
Yeah,
It's safe
I will
word,
come.
is it not?
Safe word, yes. Yes. Right.
Strange practice that, but alright.
Bjorn, if we we'll sit inside of my uncle's chariots, and I'll ask. I'll find out, because we got this lead from this exact creature that almost destroyed us all inside this ring, trapped.
True.
Huh. Sorry, did you say that to Arsiphus? I missed if you had left before you said that.
I said it intentionally so we can hear as we were leaving.
Okay. I will look at Austin. So, to be clear, he's about to release a creature that nearly killed him and all of you into the city streets?
My understanding is he's about to communicate with the trapped soul of said spirit within his little ring. He's done it before. There was no particularly bad issues last time, so...
Never
should be
reported
alright.
to be a magic man of any kind. I'll choose to hope to believe that he won't kill himself or others.
I'm very much a newcomer too, so... Yes.
That's well. He does pull out a notepad and write again, like something down very quickly before putting it away.
Whilst they're out there, also, I had a thought after something I've said. Following the money, you must know plenty of businessmen, merchants, money men around the city.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine the movement of so many people would go unnoticed by those whose hands pass coin.
That is exactly why I was wondering how long this process has been going on for, because that many people, children, are not moving over the course of, say, even a year would be noticeable.
Exactly. So, if you happen to know any of the more unscrupulous, corrupt individuals in such circles, maybe they might be worth paying a visit.
I do, but how do you say? I tend to try to keep my moral character above water.
Well,
So
you can
they
wait
tend
outside.
to disagree with me.
Or just push it in the right direction. I'm sure we can, then you can be absolved of all knowledge.
Well, usually I just do this, and he kind of just like waves his hand over his face, and now he looks like a different tabaxi, kind of a brown speckled one with like white stripes across his chest.
Oh, I can do that. I'll use Mask of Phony Faces to look like Arsaphis instead, because keep forgetting I have that.
Yep.
You guys just like swap tables. That's great.
Yeah.
He now stops to like does it again, and now looks like Oz is like, oh, fair enough, I suppose.
Anyway, I'll put it back.
He will wave his hand in front of his face to look like himself.
But yes, just so we're clear on each other's fields of expertise.
Couple guys across the pub are like, put their drinks down. We've had too much. What a good
And they never drank again.
This man over here is drinking in his face is swapping over the other guy. We're going home.
Somebody else on another table is like, I'll have what they're having.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, one guy's like, I quit. The other guy's, I gotta double down.
Yeah, precisely.
And as that happens, the bartender comes out with like a bunch of semi-fancy gruel, basically. All right, this is a famous gruel, and then he arrives with the vegan quiche. He says, and this is a vegan quiche. Noggle and Bjorn.
Fair warning.
Yeah.
Hold on, before that switch. Fair warning, Ost. When you eat this, you can't help but tell other people about it. Anyway, really shitty vegan side a joke. Your guys' turn.
That's fantastic. Noggle will Bjorn, I'd rather not let anyone know inside the actual carriage what's happening, so I'm going to place this ring on. I'm going to ask some questions. If something strange starts happening to me, if I start looking like I'm losing control, just pull the ring off of my finger. Worst case scenario, subdue me.
Yeah, sure. Just strangle you or knock you out.
Worst case scenario, knock me out. Subdue me at least. Yes. Try not to hurt me if at all possible. Unless it seems to be just get the ring off of my finger. I assure you that when this ring is on my finger, I can speak with this creature. When it's off of my finger, the creature has broken its bond with me. Worst case scenario, yes. Knock me out unconscious, but I mean, I don't think we'll come to that.
Okay. And if you actually talk to this, wise guy in the ring,
yes,
could you maybe ask about every cat person related? Because, oh my god, if I saw another Tabaxi, I would be so confused.
Well, let's just hope it's 666 Tabaxis. Because, honestly, that would be quite easy to do. They actually breed quite quickly.
Oh,
it's actually quite interesting. The economics of the actual breeding propositions of the. Never mind. It will take me too long to actually explain this scenario to you. But hold tight, and I'll put the ring on of mind shielding.
And I put my hand around Uncle's hand, so if he backs away, I could grab the finger with the ring on it and pull it off.
Pull off the finger. Got it. All right.
No, the ring off the finger. If you pull Nongle's finger off, he won't be able to use the bucket. No, don't do that. Please don't break his hands.
Noggle, as you put on your finger, give me an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage.
Ooh, intelligence save with disadvantage. It'll be a 26.
And the other one would have been a natural 20.
That's right, because I'm amazing.
As you put on the ring, you feel the allure of another mind, so vast and infinitely seems understanding. It seems like it was almost seductive in its way. And you're not sure that if this is just the nature of having such a mind inside an item like this and accessing it so directly, or if it is actually something that whatever creature in here that is caught is actually doing to you. But after a while, you find yourself in a room. Like, you can see Bjorn and the rest of where you are, but inside of your head, you're also in a room. You're sitting in a dark kind of the leather-upholstered chair. And in another chair, in front of you, you see the Illithid, still wearing the sailor's uniform that he was when you last saw him. It is completely dark, but for a single candle on a small table beneath, in between you. There's no floor, there's no walls or ceiling. There's only the chairs and the table and the candle and you, and then nothing. Just maddening darkness around you.
Illithid, why do you stay bound to this ring? You could leave anytime you'd like.
Well, Nonkel, reality is often complicated and disappointing. Now, I feel that you are coming to me with questions.
Yes. Well, we're here where you're supposed to drop off your slaves to. And I assure you, Illithid, you're not in control here.
Well,
I could step and crush this ring underneath my boot, and even at my small stature, could destroy you and your soul with it. You're bound by me, Illithid. You're my prisoner, Illithid.
Bjorn, please make an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage as you're touching the ring.
Oh no!
I can't. I can't.
Oh, I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead. I will go to Bjorn. And I'll do the saving throw. And let's see. Oh, fuck off. Well, Bjorn.
19, Bjorn. Holy shit. Nice job. 19 on the other side of a natural 20.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Sadly,
wow.
the DC for this save was 20.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you want to use your inspiration?
I don't think that's going to help.
It means that I have to roll 2 natural 20. And
No, you have a 15%. Actually, no, you have a 5% chance of actually making the roll. No.
You rolled a 17, so you need to roll an 18, 19, or 20. So you have 15% chance of doing it.
No, but at disadvantage, he needs to roll.
No, because it's just another single dice roll.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I roll again. Inspiration.
Sadly, no.
I'll use my inspiration.
All right, this is the last inspiration I'll allow on this roll.
Okay.
Sadly,
Of course.
and you says, and you can, like, it's very weird to be two places at once and seeing two things at once. But when you look inside the eyes of this Illithid inside of your mind, your head kind of raises up to Bjorn's, and the same eyes are gazing back at you. And you can feel his grip tightening on you. And that's where we'll end this session.
Oh no. Fuck. Sorry, Bjorn.
When I saw that it was a 17, I was like, okay, do you actually get through this? And then, oh, fuck, it was, oh, well.
Safe word, no.
Safe word. Safe word.
safe word. Yeah.
We'll see what happens next time, as right now, you might be fucked with this guy. Let's see. Well, thank you all for playing, guys. It has been a lot of fun today, even though we haven't had Leon with us. He will return next time in 2 weeks. So maybe Leon will, or maybe Theus will also get back at such a time. Who knows?
As a fellow producer of Epic Boons, I want to say that Evan, as a partial DM for the session, absolutely fantastic. That was great.
Thank you.
I hope to see you DMing more on this channel.
Yeah, we all hope that. Thank you for doing that, Evan, and thank you for all of you for playing today. We will definitely be seeing more of Evan's interesting exploits in the next session and in the future here with Arcephis, who is somehow different from Yarsifis. Now,
it seems like Cephis is not just the character's name, it seems to be almost a title. I'm very looking forward to seeing what that actually means. And even though I am producing this, Roar is definitely keeping me away from the actual table in this aspect, which I love. So,
yeah, all right.
And are we?
we'll
be any more powerful next time?
Yes, you have all leveled up as we're doing this.
Oh, very nice.
How very nice! So you're getting more things, and that means you're going up to level 12. It's an even level, so some of you might experience your artifacts also evolving in their power. So we'll see. So we'll see what will happen to you guys with that. We'll do that between the sessions, but we'll of course tell you if we multi-class or do anything special. So for now, I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. As always, we'd like to shout out Foundry Virtual Tabletop and Michael Gelfi, the music that we're using, or at least the ambiences we're using. That is great. And we also want to shout out our patron. Why? All right, the name going off.
Yeah. We have one single patron.
Yeah, from Gaming. Go ahead and look at his stream as well at twitch.tv/Gaming. He streams 2 days a week. How was it, Tanner?
Every Tuesday and every Saturday. You guys can check it out. Absolutely, 100%. Go to Gaming on Twitch. And
with that said, just everybody, thanks for watching and take care of yourself and each other. Right? Bye, ding dongs.
Bye.